Hello and welcome to summer. I am so happy to see you here. This little video is just going to give you a little bit of an introduction to what summer means in Eastern medicine. So we're going to go through a little bit of the energetics of the season and just helping you understand what naturally comes up at this time of year. Each season through the year, we can see it in nature all the time. Each season brings a different elements. It brings different activities, rest cycles, foods that are naturally grown or eaten at that time of year. So we'll go into a little bit of summer, but what we want to recognize is that we're not supposed to be doing the same thing year round. We're supposed to vary our diet, our lifestyle, our sleep patterns, our energy, like how productive we are season to season. And so when we listen to what's going on around us and adapt according to that, we actually help our bodies thrive and help our bodies be in natural balance with nature and the systems that are out there. So I'm going to talk about general principles. I also want to say that there's the individual in here too. So every person is different. So I'm going to talk a little bit about when we're off balance or when our cycles are a little bit different than what's going on. And that if you're feeling, for instance, summer is very hot. So if you're feeling very hot and can't seem to cool down, there are certain foods that you should use. But if you're someone who actually feels cold in the summer, I'm going to talk a little bit about that later too. So you'll get a sense. So the idea is that you can customize this a little bit for you as well as understanding what's going on generally. So summer is about full expansion of energy. Winter, when you think of winter, that's when it's like the world is hibernating, it's asleep. There's not a lot going on. You look outside and you have to look pretty hard for activity. But in the summer, you look outside and the air is almost alive, like bugs are flying and birds are flying and there's just grasses are moving and there's a lot of activity. And we'd say in the yin and yang balance of energy, which we need both, but summer is the full expansion of yang. So yang is the doing, the outward manifestation, the energy, lots of activity. It's heat, where yin is that cooling, the quiet, the darkness. This is all about light and expansion. And so so summer, it is alive. Everything's buzzing out there. The trees are in full bloom. The fruit is ripening. There's gardens growing. Animals have little babies. There's just a lot of activity going on. And so that naturally, we tend to have more activity at this time of year as well. So often, the sun doesn't set till later. It's up very early in the morning. So naturally we might wake earlier, go to bed later. That's normal to sort of use this activity or this energy more to get stuff done. It's also about, so in Chinese medicine, we say each system has an emotion associated with it. It has obviously a season, a temperature, a flavor. And so summer is, I said, that yang organ. It's associated with our heart system in Chinese medicine. So heart is the system, it's obviously about our circulation. So it feeds blood to our body to circulate, to get, nourishing blood and warmth to our body through our capillaries and through our arteries and all that. It also has to do with having heart, or our heart system, and also love. So the heart has been associated with love and relationship forever. And so that definitely has part of it, our ability to open to love, to receive love, to give love. But it also relates to our consciousness in Chinese medicine. So our spiritual life, it has to do with having deeper meaning and purpose in the world. And so this can sometimes come up about in this system around full expression of who we are. It's a lot about how we communicate or how we articulate our ideas as well. It has it had like our self-expression is really up for this. So our ability to, so we can, have summer. We're obviously in summer right now in Canada. It's July. We're fully in summer. We can also have summer in like times of our lives. So we'd say youth and is a bit more of a summer energy when we have all this energy and it's a go, go, go. But we can also have summer energy in creative projects as well. So this would be the time of, you know, you have the spark of an idea, you start it to grow, but this would be in full flow, full action. This would be considered summer. And that's like full expression of the idea. It's also, so love and joy are the natural emotions with this summer system, or we call it the fire system. That's the element that's associated with this. When we're off balance, or when things aren't being expressed the way we want, the sort of opposite to the love or joy emotion that comes up would be anxiety or despair. So if we have too much of this energy and we feel like our heart might be racing, we feel panicked, that would be too much, and that would be sort of more of that anxiety. If we're feeling like just like no energy, we're lacking that enthusiasm for life, we feel very flat, and you can see it in people's eyes. We say the Shen, or our spirit, shines through our eyes. So someone whose eyes are very alive and lit up, and we'd say that's the heart energy is great. But when someone's got sort of a flattening or a darkening, or just kind of not much there in their eyes, we'd say that that's part of that system not having enough energy, enough fire in the system. So a big part of being able to open our hearts in this system is the courage to do so. This would be what we'd say the bridge to fully expressing ourselves in this time of year. So we'll go into all these in a little more detail, but just to kind of plant the seeds for what's going on at this time of year. So this fire system that shows up in the summer is really about transformation. It's about passion. It's about, fire also like burns away what we no longer need, and it clears room for the new. So sometimes we might find that things that aren't working, we're getting rid of them at this time of year, and we're really diving into the things that bring us joy and bring us passion. It's like when you look around, everything's on full display. It's like full color out there at this time of year. So it's really important too. So there's a lot of energy that obviously we're talking about. It's also important to balance this throughout every year. Like in the winter, it's cold outside, everything's quiet. We need to add that warmth in just to balance us out. So in the summer, what we need to balance out all the heat that's just naturally there through all the light and through the temperature being so warm, is we need to bring in some coolness. So this will be some of the foods that we bring in. So foods naturally grown at each season have different properties. So as we bring in cooling foods like cucumbers or watermelon, they naturally bring back in the moisture that we're losing from sweating, and they naturally cool the system down. So we can also make sure we bring in coolness through our activities. So if there's a lot of doing, or we're up a lot longer in the day, we have to make sure that we're bringing in that rest as well. So, finding a hammock, or, a chair in the shade and just reading a book, or taking a nap in the day, bring back the siesta. I say, like after lunch, it's a good time to just bring in that rest, or some calming activities. So some of the things that are really great at balancing all this excitement that really is like socializing and exciting and doing meditation. So we're going to do some really nice meditations throughout this week as well, because we need to balance all that activity with the rest. So throughout this week, we're going to be giving you lots of different tips and lots of just different suggestions and foods. The general theme is spiritual connection, self-expression, and manifestation. So I encourage you to look at what brings you joy, what sparks your passion, where you love spending your time and energy, who you love spending your time and energy with. Noticing if you spend too much time with people, what do you need to balance that to reconnect to yourself? You can say reconnect to your spiritual world, or to your inner world, that inner knowing, making sure that gets in as well. We're going to give you lots of prompts for this. And if you're noticing that it's all too much for you, it's just too much energy. I'm going to give you a lot of suggestions on how to balance that, and how to make sure you're taking the time to balance your personal energy no matter what the season is doing outside. So this is set up to help you thrive. It's set up to help you understand the energetics so that you can shift season to season, and also understand that maybe at another time of year, if you're noticing this summer, this fire energy come up, which is that passion, that productivity, that you're able to harness that and use it to really create the things that you want to create in the world, or be the person that you fully want to be in the world. So write in with questions anytime. There'll be a little bit of a handout here to break down all the things that I just talked about. But enjoy summer, enjoy all the beauty and the explosion of color and life that's all around you. And I will see you, or we will see you again tomorrow.